Welcome back. 525 Mechamadness Monday. 750-point battle due to Kronos Combine versus 750 points of the Armageddon Star Blades Combined Armed Sniper Artillery Force. Deployment was a very soft, easy, linear deployment by the Armageddon Star Blades with the artillery sniper force. I was not expecting it. I was pleasantly surprised. 3 Shiltron Primes, Warhammers, Hunchbacks, plenty of ECM. My force, unprepared, was a tank column force. Going to urban environment, I brought a lance of peregrines, 2 ferrets, 2 sprints, 4 Ontos LRM variants, and my list it's an experiment versus an experiment. However, we opted out of going for objectives and went straight to a grudge match. My objective was to push the snipers out of their perch, march into the city, and pound them going in. I did not go into the main central lane. I wanted to work the angles, pushing out from my flank all the way into somewhere else. Turn 1 started off. Peregrines doubled out to the left. Mechs, the light lance flanked to the left. His hunchbacks began marching into the city. Warhammers took up their perch to start shooting into the lane. The Mauler was the best target, looking through the alley from that corner. Naginata stayed perched back. Ontoses began shooting indirect. We inflicted some armor damage. Turn 2. Peregrines pounced to play with the Whitworths and pick on the Shiltrons. The Shiltrons, all 3 were putting out 6 arrow 4 shots a turn. My opponent brought tag, so he was pounding out my tanks at 2 points a hit. Inflicted a lot of motive damage, armor damage, and the Ontos were still pretty much clean, but we were marching into the city. We weren't taking no for an answer. Looking through the angles, you can see that there were no lines of sight anywhere, so it was mostly an indirect fire game. My opponent was not obsessed, but determined to, by turn 3, push me back. His artillery crippled 1 SRM carrier for motive and then crippled a Challenger for motive. But we kept pushing. He was not stopping us as we pushed down. We had managed to clip the Mauler, the infantry, and his 2 LRM carriers. The Knicks had crossed the field, Peregrines and the other sprint crossed the field. We just wanted to peekaboo with him and scare him and intimidate him, which technically failed. So we continued to push the narrative by harassing everyone up the corner and looking for soft targets. The soft targets, however, were not where we expected to find them because I was a soft target. His artillery began hitting again. Even when it missed, it was still clipping people. So the pain really begins. We took out the 10 Warhammer going into turn 4. The Hunchbacks and the Whitworths started to catch up. We had cracked one of the Shiltrons. As we continued to power forward, we lost the Challenger. Hunchback got scratched. Nixus got clipped with missed artillery shells. That's how he was damaging my high-speed scouts. However, turn 5, we're going to lose one of the Nixes because he got clipped going after the Shiltron, and the Warhammer caught him. However, the Hunchbacks denied themselves a line of sight. There's no one for them to play with. The Shugenja was safe from harm, and we just wanted the front door. Taking out the other Shiltron, there's only one left. The goal is to crack all 3 Shiltrons and completely disrupt the C3 network. His C3 command Cyclops had been hidden all game, and we just couldn't get to it up until soon. So at this point, we pretty much knew that the war was not going to end well for the mercenaries, but the mercenaries trudged on. Wanted to set up and get a firefight in with the hunchbacks. So, flipping the script, we ran into the alley for turn 6. Naginata advanced, giving fire support as it could. All the remaining tanks, including the lone SRM carrier that whiffed, marched into the middle of the street, trying to give everyone the business. It was a brutal march, a hellacious march, but we were going to give it all that we had. Looking at where the infantry was going, the hunchbacks, none were safe. We clipped them as hard as we could in this turn 6. We actually had a turn 7, and I just forgot to put the label. But at this point, the Whitworth, the Warhammer, and everyone was open game. My hunchback really didn't get to play with anybody until the end of the game. However, the Whitworths were the MVP, in my opinion, for the opponent because they kept flipping the script by jumping everywhere. End of game, turn 7. We did clip out, well, not end of game, but before the end of the game. This is turn 7. We cracked a hunchback. We scratched the Shiltron. We pinged the Warhammer. The Nyx and hunchback survived. We lost the SRM carrier. Now, overshooting was not a bad thing. His helicopters harassed my hunchback. Everyone ignored the Naginata. Life was good. Where it got complicated for me was, how do I crack the other hunchbacks and not lose everything? And I was willing to sacrifice the challengers. They did their thing. So by the end of the game, we got all of the major targets. I lost a hunchback, and so many other wonderful things. 2 challengers went out. SRM carrier was already gone. Hunchback got it. The rest of the mechs were almost pristine except for the Nyx. And then his commander and the 3 helicopters decided to fall back. What a brutal shooting match. From Monday Mechamadness at Dragon's Lair, Fredericksburg location, Medical Center. DCMS forces secured the city. We lost another Peregrine. We beat up on hunchbacks. Thanks for watching.